Help for Flurfs recently sent me this. As you can see, this is commentary on an image that was sent to Helpful Flurfs. Commentary including things like, oh yeah, if that's Gibraltar, where's this part of it? Why can't we see this bit? Why can't we see that land? Obviously this is not quite the same view of Gibraltar. This was taken from somewhere else, which is why you can see those bits in it. Also commentary like, and there. See, you can be on the beach, like it says at the bottom, at Marbella, like it says at the bottom, and 62 kilometres from Gibraltar. That can be done. You're quite a bit east of the main part of Marbella, but the little area where you would be at 62 kilometres from Gibraltar does have Marbella in a place name somewhere within it. So we could let them off with that. But it's not 85 kilometres from Ceuta, or however you pronounce that, depending what dialect you have. You could be 62 kilometres from Gibraltar and 85 kilometres from there, but then you wouldn't be on the beach at Marbella. You would be well inland. And of course you could be 85 kilometres from there and on the coast, but you wouldn't be at Marbella and you wouldn't be 62 kilometres from Gibraltar. So that's a bit of a problem for whoever put a flat onto this photograph. There's another problem with their claim, which is that I found the original photograph on TripAdvisor, and it's actually labelled as from the walkway outside the hotel, Skol Marbella. So, not on the beach. On the walkway outside the hotel. Yeah. These waves are viewed from quite a long way up. I don't have the actual elevation of the camera, I just assumed 5 metres. I could be wrong, it could be 10 metres. It could be 15, it could be 13.7. But whatever, I've got that script that works out where you'd expect to see things just with pure geometry and with a certain amount of refraction and based on flat. And I've only tested it looking north from Southport past Blackpool to the Lake District. Of course I should test it looking in different directions. How about looking southwest? So I ran the numbers in my script looking southwest, and I got results that I was able to plot. So one of the things I plotted was, of course, the little headland on the east side of the peninsula on the north coast of Africa, opposite Gibraltar, which is the one they claimed to be seeing in the photograph. And here it is, and this blue line is the horizon. The entire headland should be hidden below the horizon. Is this awkward? Of course, I also put in Gibraltar, in general, the rock particularly is this end of it. And as in the photograph I was sent, as in the photograph that was stuck to the image I was sent, I should say, there's this thing on the left that's not visible in that photograph from Marbella, but is visible from closer up, because it's there. Not visible from Marbella because it's below the horizon. There's this part of Gibraltar that's visible in the photograph from close up because it exists, but isn't visible from Marbella because it's below the horizon. Got this kind of swooped slope on the right, the high part, bit of a notch, this slight slope up to this bump, saddle, basically a plateau, steep left side, practically a cliff there by the looks of it. You've got this swooped slope up on the right to the high part, step, notch, slight slope up to this little bump here, bit of a saddle, almost a plateau, and then quite a steep left side to almost a cliff not next to the water, almost a cliff below the water. Have I got something wrong? Not at all. This is labelled at the top, Gibraltar Geometric. Of course there's also a refracted plot. Swoop up on the right, yada yada yada. There's the bit like a cliff down to the water. If you add the refraction. I went further than that. I actually went for mainland Spain as well. Here is Sierra Carbonero, which has a television repeater mast on it. This isn't in the picture, it's too far right, but I like to be thorough. But the big question isn't what's to the right of Gibraltar. The big question is what's to the left. Well, we know what's to the left of Gibraltar. The Strait of Gibraltar, all this water. Like, duh. It's that thing you just glimpsed on the left side, though. There's the water line along that part of Gibraltar. Same width, and again, it's just there. And again, and most of 4 times along, there's this thing here. This little bump comes up above the horizon, it drops back below, and then we're up. What have we got? Well, this shorter line here is a piece that's farther northeast, which would stick out in front of the main skyline just for that part. And this main skyline, we have the slope up, going long, disappears behind it, so we'll have that bump sticking up, then up to a step, little level part, steep slope, slightly gentler slope, plateau top. Obviously, I'm only going with Google's 20-metre contour lines here. Possibly I clicked in the wrong place and got the wrong coordinates here. It can be difficult with Google's 20-metre contour lines, which I'm sure are inaccurate. But, yeah, they're close enough. They give you an idea. Accurate to within 20 metres, right? Slopes down here, back up, secondary summit, which is lower and sloping down slightly to the left, steep slope off there. Jebel Musa, the Mountain of Moses. That headland's all the way out here. Should we see how that compares to the photograph? Oh, I think we should see how that compares to the photograph. Let's have that shape there. And that shape there. Well, that's some severe JPEG damage. We have that little bump. We have the horizon at sea again, because it's gone below it. Got this up and along, and you've got the kind of the foreground bulge up, and the next bulge up, and a bit to the high plateau-like top. Then you have this steep down to low part, then you have another lower plateau, which may be sloping slightly down to the left. It's kind of hard to tell in this resolution, and you've got quite a steep left side, and then you have more of North Africa.